Hello, hello, hello. So, today I wanted to talk about taking God out of the box. And first of all, when I think of that concept, I think of how often or have you ever gotten something that you're excited about and you like leave it in the box and you want to like preserve it and you only take it out because it's so special. And so it's like, hopefully we're not using God like that. But what I mean by take him out of the box is more like when you think outside of the box. Like I feel like when a lot of people reference God or refer to God, they have him in this box that doesn't allow him to be as great and as magnificent as he really is. And so what made me think about it today was, one, I was going to talk about it because I'm working on the copy for the sales page for the retreat. And I put a disclaimer on there, which I'll share with you. But first, then I was like looking at my face and I have like these big ol' monster pimples on my cheeks. And it's crazy because I usually never break out right here. And so I started looking like, ew, I don't want to go live, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, whatever, I really don't care. Like it's like a split second, but I'm like, whatever. So here's my point of all of this, and this is like, I know somebody needs to hear what I'm going to share today, so stay with me. And I'm going to keep it brief because I have my sitter. She's usually gone at 4. I asked her to stay so I could do this live, so I'm going to be as brief as possible, but I feel like someone needs to hear this. So number one, when I was thinking about my pimples, this is the part that is like a side note, but I feel like it's relevant and it also can relate to God being in the box. But I started Googling like why you break out in certain areas. And I was fascinated by that when I learned that certain parts of your face will identify certain parts of your body that are suffering, which is why you're breaking out in those areas. I think that's fascinating because one thing, and this is the part that I feel like someone needed to hear, is our bodies talk to us and we get to be conscious enough to listen. And it also goes back to God being in the box of like how do we know that the acne on our skin is not one of God's ways of speaking to us? And I know that that's super weird and like deep in a weird way, but it's like, this is what I mean by putting him in a box. It's like, I feel like we compartmentalize him. Like, God is here, we're here, like life happens here. And then it's like, I got to pray and hope that God answers my prayers. And I honestly don't even think a lot of people pray with the actual like belief that God is really going to move the mountain that they're praying for. Like I really believe, like when I see what people are praying for and see how they're praying and the level at which they're praying but then acting, I feel like people just say like, I'm going to pray about it, but they're not really believing when they pray. And so I don't know, any hearts, like, yeah, I could relate to that, but I just feel like that in itself is one of the ways that we have God in this box. It's like we'll like say, I'm believing that God's going to take care of it, or I'm just praying, or I'm going to pray about it. But like, do we really mean that? Or are we really diligently praying and seeking and asking? So anyways, the little thing that I felt like someone needed to hear was like, what are the ailments that are happening in your body? And then I'm going to go into one other, like I'm going to tell you guys the disclaimer of what I shared, but like, what are the ailments that maybe your body is dealing with, whether it's back aches, headaches, I don't know, acne, overweight, thyroid issues, some type of diagnosis. Most people have them. Allergies, skin issues. Allergies are a big one because Indy has severe allergies, and it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, just put this lotion on it, or oh, change the water, or oh, like don't use this or don't use that. Like it's not that it drives me nuts that people say that, because I know they mean well and they're just trying to like help. But what drives me nuts is I know that eczema is it's an internal gut thing. It's your body responding. And whenever your body responds at the skin level, like acne or eczema, your body is screaming, there's something wrong inside. Something is not right. I'm malnourished somewhere. I need more water. I need more nutrients. I need more vitamins. I need more minerals. I need more sleep. I need less stress. It's screaming, I need something, or I need something to get out of me. Like stop filling my body with these toxins. So whatever ailment you might be dealing with right now, from headaches to skin like situations to like diagnoses, please don't accept the diagnosis as I have acne, I've always had acne, or I always get headaches, or I'm always tired, or oh, I have thyroid issues, it runs in the family. You can change your bodily malfunctions through your diet and lifestyle, period. So that's just a side note, but I just felt like I needed to say it because I was fascinated when I learned that. I haven't always known that. I wasn't raised knowing that. I never knew the correlation between the food and things that we do and don't put in our body are the exact result of what we get out. So for whoever needed to hear that, there you go. So going back to God being in a box, it's like, I was writing the disclaimer for my retreat, and I literally was putting on there, like, if you feel like you will be offended by me using the words such as God, Jesus, I will talk and like teach, and then I'll go into like, thank you, Jesus, like, oh my gosh, and I will go into a prayer that I said earlier that day or that week, or a prayer that I say every morning. So I'm literally writing in the disclaimer for the retreat, if it says disclaimer, if you feel like you will be offended or not be able to learn from me using words such as, and I put God, Jesus, prayer, but then I also put energy, universe, the F-bomb, shit, damn. I cuss in the same sentence that I say Jesus sometimes, and I use the word universe, and I mean God, and I say energy because I believe energy is real. And here's the thing, like, ultimately, here's what I believe. I do believe that God is our creator, and by God, I mean Jesus Christ's Father, okay? I am a Christian. I believe in that. But I believe that God spoke life. He spoke the world into existence. And when he did that, he created energy. Energy was then when he created, and it is today, and it will never be destroyed or recreated. Therefore, everything is energy because God created it. Everything is, the universe is created by God, and when God spoke it into existence, that was the law in which it was created. So yes, I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in the law of voicing things. I believe in the power of affirmation, the power of words. It's biblical that your tongue can profess life or death. It is biblical that we get what we give. You're like, treat people how you want to be treated. Like, it's all reciprocal. We are all connected, and I believe ultimately above all else, God is love. And so I believe that love is the answer to all of our problems. And I believe that if we just stop focusing so much on our differences and our identity being wrapped in our religion and our like who's right and who's wrong, and we really just come from a place of love and responsibility and authenticity, we will realize that whatever you believe and whatever I believe doesn't really matter at the end. It matters. I'm not going there, but I'm going to just say for a moment, it doesn't matter in the moment of if you're going to choose love or not. Like, if no matter what God you believe in, if you believe God is a female, if you believe that we are, like, my daughter's learning about evolution and creation right now, like, whatever you believe in, I believe that, like, and I don't know, but I believe that every believer, whatever they believe in, believes that that's the universal law. So if you're Muslim, everyone believe, like, you believe that everyone came and we should be honoring Allah or whatever. If you're Christian, you believe that God created you and you should accept Jesus Christ. If you're a non-believer, you believe in the universe or the spiritual realm or whatever we believe in, whatever that is. We all, like, whatever you believe in, you believe that is the universal law for people. And so if you think about that, it's like, then that means we're all universally acting no matter what we believe. So if we could just take our focus for one moment off of who's right and who's wrong, and just come from a place of being and being love and being authentic and being all the good, like, I don't want to use the word good, but just being good humans, then I feel like we would know more of God. We would get God out of this box that he's like right or wrong, and that we are so worried about judging other people versus just being what God really wanted us to be. And so that was just my encouragement to you guys today, because I was thinking about it as I was writing this disclaimer. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I've even had someone not continue on with my program. And so what I wanted to end on this thought is asking you, are you using being offended by somebody Are you using religion, are you using God as an excuse? Because I see so often people say, oh, I just need to wait on God, or I just need to talk to God about it, or I'm going to pray about it. But I really believe that when God created us and he created the heavens and the earth and he gave us this whole universe with all of its abundance and overflow, look at what humans have been able to create. Look at what we have like created and the possibilities that we do with our mind and our talents and our abilities. I believe that everything we need to be who God wants us to be is already right here, right now. It's already within us. It's already around us. It's already in the person who's next to you, in the mentor, in the friend, in the pastor, in the book. It's like God has given it and it's already here. So I feel like sometimes when we like, I'm gonna pray, we're using that as an excuse to buy more time to just be complacent and to do nothing. Or when we are, without calling this person out, I would never call out who this person was, but like I believe like to certain extents, the person who chose not to continue to do the work was using the religion as because God was referenced several times, they're using the religion as an excuse or a way out because it got uncomfortable. Because you got to do the work, you got to get uncomfortable, you have to change things you've been doing in order to have different results. You've got to change what you're doing, what you're choosing. And so I just believe that people will hold on to, well, I can't hear that because they use the F word or they don't believe in God or whatever. I just feel like God, it doesn't matter. Like if you believe that God is, let's just say you're like me, like a God-fearing Christian, Jesus is Father, like, and you believe that God created everybody in his image, then how can you say I cannot learn or listen or be around anybody who doesn't believe what I believe, if you know that God is the creator and God wants us to be loved and he wants us to not judge and he wants us to be surrounded with the people who are not believers so that maybe they will be believers because we're showing love. And so that could go into a whole nother live, but like I feel like I'm kind of on like this deep thread, so it's hard to like really make sense and drive this home. But what my message is to you today as I close this up and like bring it to a wrap is just to say, like, take God out of the box. Like, stop putting him in this box of like, I'm gonna pray and then he's gonna deliver. No, you have to put faith and put commitment and take a step and take a leap and put yourself on the line and get uncomfortable and go get out there and do things that you've never done before and learn from people that you may not agree with 100% about, in order to take advantage of what God has in store for you. But if you sit in this little box and you sit like, I'm just gonna pray that one day God rescues me, it's never gonna happen. God already rescued you. In my belief, he already sent Jesus Christ to die and save you. Now it's your job to live and do the work that he called you to do. So that was just my 2 cents. If you're just joining, here's the recap of just taking him out of the box and like, first of all, just getting conscious enough to hear him. Like, literally get conscious enough to hear him. Just like I talked about my pimples. Like, if you're not aware that ailments of your body are like I was Googling, why do you break out in this area of your face? And I was seeing like, okay, it's either related to X, Y, or Z, like most likely. And so now I can pay attention to, okay, how's my diet in that area? Do I need to get certain hormones checked out or whatever? But like, be conscious, like that in itself could be like, I've been praying, one of my prayers lately has been like, God, reveal to me things in my body that I need to work on. And it's crazy, as I'm saying it out loud, literally, that's been my prayer. And then I have these like major pimples that are like really catching my attention to where I'm like, freak, like I never break out like this. What is going on? And so anyways, it goes to show like God will answer prayers in ways that you're not going to expect. It's not going to be a comfortable, like, here's a platter, here's the answer to your blessings that you've been asking for. It's going to look uncomfortable. It's going to look different. It's going to look scary. It's going to look like all kinds of things. That doesn't mean it's not God. And so that's kind of what I meant by taking him out of the box, is stop thinking that it's going to be like A, B, black and white for you to hear God talking to you. It could be a pimple on your face. It could be a big investment that you keep saying no to because you're afraid of money, but yet like I just believe God always provides. Like, God is money. Like, there's nothing bigger than God. So when we fear money so much, which I believe it's the devil that has us fearing money so much, we fear money like nobody's business, yet we're in so much debt. We have so much, like, all these problems with money, so much poverty, scarcity, lack. And yet, if we just were to trust God and step out on faith and stop fearing the very thing that can help us move our life forward, like, it's just crazy. It goes back to tithing. There's many people not tithing. That means you're not putting, I mean, at least for those who are believers of God and the Christianity, but like if you say you believe in God and you're a Christian and you're praying for God to answer your blessings, get your money right, help you with this, get you a new job, do all these things, and you're not tithing, you're not doing anything. Like, it's like my mentor, like, she has this, like, I realized this, and then I'm going to close. I realized, because I've been saying, like, I need a VIP day with her. I need to sit down one-on-one with her because I need her to help me with the next move in my business, the next strategy. And then I realized when I went to her event, like, I'm not even doing the one basic foundation principle that she teaches everybody for free, which is building, like, my audience and my list. Like, I'm not even doing the very strategy she teaches at the baseline. Like, she teaches, if you're not doing this thing, you don't have a business. You don't have business doing business. And yet I'm sitting here like, I need to spend X amount of thousands of dollars to get in front of her, and then I can get my breakthrough. And I'm not doing the basics. So it goes back to the tithing thing. If you are not tithing, but you're praying to God to bless you with more abundance, more overflow, less debt, less stress, less overwhelm, a job that you're fulfilled in, then you need to stop trusting the money system and start trusting God. Put your money in Him first, and put your money where your mouth is. Like, stop praying for things where your actions are not going to back it up, because God already answered most of our prayers. He already put most of the things that we need in front of us. We are just blinded by unconsciousness and lack of faith. That's literally the problem, is unconsciousness and lack of faith. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys today. And I agree, Christians, we should definitely be in abundance. Yes, we should be in abundance, and it is a shame that we are not. That's a whole nother life, another day, another hour. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for tuning in.